tonight. Salute to everyone that's here in the chat, especially the people who are here early, because I'm here early. So I would hope that y'all will be here early as well, because I'm going to deliver great content like I always do. So salute to everyone that's here. Moderators, channel members, Patreons, shout out to y'all. I recently posted my Beckification of black women on Patreon. Hopefully y'all go and check it out. I posted 2 videos today. I posted a video on both of my channels. I posted a video on JayeDeBlack, and I posted a video on Basic Social Politics, JayeDeBlack. And I spoke about this situation. I spoke about the situation in regards to Joy Taylor, and also spoke about it in regards to Skip Bayless. That was a lot. Y'all got to understand, I could have did the video yesterday, but I didn't want to rush. So what I did was I waited, collected all the information, or as much as I could. I didn't go over the documents. Y'all can go read the documents for yourself. But I went over a summarized version of it. Shout out to Mark Stewart for being a member for 42 months. He says the sisterhood is quiet on this one. Of course they are. Whenever they take an L, they always quiet. Let me tell y'all something though. If Joy Taylor was messing around with a black athlete, I'm telling you right now, they'd be calling her all type of exoticals and, mixed privilege and all that, But we're going to get into it. We're going to go over some things live. I wanted to go over it live with y'all. Let's see who's here in the chat room. Let's see who's here. Devon, Jamil, Derek, Eric, Ramon, The Revelator, Proactive Pat, General Washington, Kevin from Brooklyn, Beefer, Para Princess, Mr. Mario, Trill, Daisy, Riderwise, Accounting Tom, Raphael, LaMarcus, what's good? Make sure y'all like the stream. We're going to get into it. Man. Oh, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Let me tell y'all something, man. Hopefully y'all had a good weekend. Hopefully your New Year's has started off great. There's a lot going on in the world. Hopefully you're not driving yourselves crazy. But yeah, there's a lot going on. And this story went viral. And the reason why in the title I call it Freak Offs, because that's exactly what's going on over there at Fox Sports. You got the Jamie Horowitz situation. Now you got another executive being accused of pay for play in regards to women's hire. Y'all know what's crazy? There's another female that was hired recently over the last, maybe year or two at Fox Sports. She looks just like Joy Taylor. She's more Caucasian than Joy Taylor, but she kind of has the same look as Joy Taylor. I wonder who made that hire at Fox Sports. I wonder who made that hire. I wonder who made that hire. But salute to everyone that's here. I want to get into one of the darker parts of this whole thing. I've been seeing a lot of memes. People have been joking about this. But there was something serious that was in the files. And one of the accusations that was made was that Joy Taylor told Nasheen, the woman who filed the lawsuit, she told her that if she ever got fired, if she ever was in a bad situation in regards to Fox Sports, she would accuse the executive she was sleeping with, Charlie Dixon, of assault. She would say that he forced her to do it. That was one of the darker parts of the paperwork. Yeah, Marcellus Wiley did lose his show to those two. They were plotting. Look at all the different shows that she's been on. all the different shows that she's been on. She went from being on Undisputed, then she was on Colin Cowherd's show. Now she's on this Speak show. Like, she's been all over that network. The girl has absolutely no talent. Nobody watches those shows to watch her. Nobody. That's why it's easy for her to be moved from one show to the next. It's good, Daisy. What's good, Elwood? Adrian was good. JayeDeBlack FS1 stands for Freak Show 1. It's definitely a freak show. Again, make sure y'all like the stream. It's definitely a freak show going on over there. But you got somebody that doesn't have the talent. How is she able to get all these jobs at the network? It's because she's doing jobs. Literally. And you know what's funny? She's probably still messing around with Chuck Dixon. She probably still messing around with that man. But the fact that she was going to Me Too him if it came to it shows you the type of woman that she is. I've made a couple of different videos about Joy Taylor, and I always knew I was right about Joy Taylor. I always knew that she was somebody that would do anything to make it. She just gives off that energy. Y'all remember how homely and humble she seemed when she first got the job, right? But we didn't know the real her. When she started to get notoriety, she started to dress different. She started showing off her body more because that's who she always was. This woman got divorced by her husband because he found out, or he was able to put two and two together, that she was messing around with her boss. I mean, she moves from Florida to California. I'm assuming she did that by herself. So, bro, what do you think she's doing? You got a woman that's in her 20s. She is living her best life. None of these women are faithful. These heifers are some cheaters. People want to believe that these women are faithful. No, they're not. There's some, and she even has talked about it. She tried to put the cheating off on men, but you was cheating on your husband. What are you talking about? Now, you ask her that, she'll act like, well, she wasn't together with her husband. Sure you weren't. You were. What about the messing around with the married man? Because Chuck Dixon was married, or Charlie Dixon was married. And you were messing around with him. And the fact that she was going to say he forced himself on her, if she ever had to use that card, shows you the type of person she is. What's up, Black Rain? Brian, what's good? Kenneth, what's up? Make sure y'all like the stream. What's good? Manani, pronounce her name. This woman is willing to do whatever it takes to maintain what she has. Yeah, that's why I have this picture up here. This man is all comfortable. Listen, if I'm ever in a single woman's apartment or home, or whatever, and I got my socks off, you already know. Now, people would say, well, Jay, maybe she doesn't want people wearing shoes in her house. Well, why did he okay, you can take your shoes off. Why you got your socks off and you're under some covers? This man is bundled up like he just took a nap. He's all bundled up over there, man. He hella comfortable over there. Like, you all comfortable in this woman's house or apartment, whatever. If y'all ever see a photo of a woman sitting next to a guy, she got wine in her hand, and he laid out on the couch, she like, oh, that's her friend. No, that's not. That's your friend with benefits. That ain't no platonic friendship, especially if the person ain't, gay or whatever. Shout out to Eric Square.
Wiley said it a while back without details about Acho. Joy going down bad. Want to see if she goes off social media again, and if Watson didn't stay with her if he heard this at the time.
Appreciate that, Eric. Well, their relationship ended very abruptly because they were all lovey-dovey. They were engaged to be married, and then the relationship just fell apart. The relationship just fell apart. And I believe it had a lot to do with the fact that maybe he did feel like she was still dealing with the Fox executive, or maybe dealing with Emmanuel Acho. Emmanuel seemed like he has a very sneaky energy. I don't know what it is. I have no problem with him, with Emmanuel Acho. He seemed like a decent dude, but bro, you went in your car and you made a whole video praising her and telling her how great she'd be for that show. When, basically looks like the same day he was at her apartment. Shout out to Sir Shah.
I will admit this hairdresser is messy. Joy a bot.
Yeah, she is. She's very messy. I guess she got fired. Because this is one of my things. What's good, Organic? Let's see. Enrique was good. Chocolate Sid Gemini was good. Make sure y'all like the stream. I said this in my video. Black Intellectual, what's up? Why did you work there for 12 years if you were undergoing all this harassment? Even Shannon Sharpe left before you did. And I'm speaking about the hairdresser. So you put up with all that harassment. Shout out to Shurside again.
Them biracial sisters love some Nigerians. Saluting face Acho.
Appreciate that. Must be because, out of all them dudes that she could have been linked to, she seemed to have a connection with Emmanuel. But Emmanuel, he's one of those guys that will tell these women whatever they want to hear and they'll believe it. This guy co-wrote a book with a woman. Never mind, because I could go into detail with that, but I'm not. Again, it says, I know Joy from Miami radio. I was there one day. Oh, really? I heard that she had a gig there, but it wasn't like she didn't have a big role there. Not to the point to where she can get on TV right after that, Listen, the casting couch is everywhere. They have a casting couch in Hollywood, and they have a casting couch in sports TV as well. Y'all look at the other female they just hired at Fox Sports. She looks just like Joy Taylor. Somebody got to type. Somebody at Fox Sports got to type. She was with Lebitard. Okay. Yeah, because I'm like, she wasn't that well known to just go from Florida to California, and all of a sudden she's on this show with these guys. Something about that just never really resonated with me. Something about that just wasn't right. How a complete unknown get a TV gig? Like, how? Okay, she's Jason Taylor's sister, but what does she know about moderating sports debate shows? Like, what does she know about that? And don't tell me it's because she's Jason Taylor's sister. Shout out to Sir Shah.
Jason Whitlock exposed on the snitch at FS1 shushing face.
Exposed on the snitch at FS1. Yeah, I saw his video. He spoke about it. I saw Marcellus Wild as well, because they were there. And yeah, Dan probably did. Dan seemed like a creep. Dan, like, he would definitely try to smash the women. He got a woman that work on this show now, So said Dan is a creep. He comes off as a creep, definitely. Again, make sure y'all like the stream. I just don't like the fact that Now, again, this is all coming from the hairdresser who is mad because she got fired. She would have never said anything. If that woman was employed today, she would have never sued Fox Sports. You understand that she made all these accusations, but the one thing that to me that really stands out, not only because of what she said that was told to her by Joy Taylor, but the fact that, you know, if she would have never got let go, she would still be working there and there will be no lawsuit. There'll be no lawsuit. So what does that tell you about this person? Now, Jason Whitlock alluded to possibly Shannon Sharpe being notified about this lawsuit. And that's why Shannon Sharpe went on his show, his podcast with Chad Ochocinco to say, hey, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Why would you need to do all that? All you got to do is say, I'm not involved in that. I worked there, but I had nothing to do with that. But, you know, he's protesting it. You know, it leaves a lot more questions than answers. I do believe she may have spoke to him about it. I'm not going to say they colluded, but she definitely went to him either for information or to seek advice. Not him, probably other people there as well. Women will dig through every crate in order to find some dirt to use against people. And I'm sure that she asked a lot of different people before she went through with that lawsuit. And she would keep them out of it. She would keep their hands clean. Listen, that's why I say, man, if people are harassing you, ladies, if you're being harassed at your job, don't wait until you're fired to say something, because it makes it seem like it's a money grab. Now, let me say this about Skip Bayless, and I made a whole video about the Skip Bayless situation. I said I don't see Skip Bayless as the type to harass a woman to sleep with him. But Jason Whitlock made an interesting point. He was like, Skip is a competitive person, and he may have been jealous of Shannon Sharpe. I believe that because Shannon Sharpe is everything that Skip Bayless wishes he was. He wishes he was a Hall of Fame athlete. He was never that, And I do think he has a bit of jealousy and resentment. And you can tell when he talks about pro athletes. Stephen A. Smith is the same way. He has a bit of resentment because he wishes he was a professional athlete that had a career, I just believe that this whole situation, this woman threw everybody under the bus. She threw everybody under the bus. She said that, she got groped by Charlie Dixon. She went and told Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor was basically like, suck it up. Like, get over it. That seemed like something that Joy Taylor would say. Because Joy Taylor has been sleeping with that man. She's not going to speak against a man that she's sleeping with. But the hairdresser stayed there, worked there until she got let go. And now you have this lawsuit. Salute to everybody that's here. I'm going to play this clip of Joy Taylor talking about cheating. Y'all remember I made that video where she talked about how men should have female friends, right? Y'all remember that? And she felt some type of way because there were women out there that didn't want their husbands or boyfriends to have female friends, and she didn't like that, giving off all types of, side chick energy. That's who she is. She's always been someone who gives off Taylor Rooks too. Taylor Rooks give off side chick energy. You ain't never seen her with no boyfriend. Now, there was rumors she was dating Jack Dorsey. I don't know, because I've heard, theories about what he's actually into. But we've never seen these women with men, So it gives off a lot of sleeping with rich men energy. They even discussed it in a video, but I'm going to play this video here. Make sure y'all like the stream.
All men cheat. I have been with men who haven't cheated. I know men who do not cheat. I have friends that are in relationships that do not cheat. There is no thing you can do to keep yourself from getting cheated on. You can marry someone and they're the only person that you've ever been with, and you were a virgin when you met them, and you were loyal, still get cheated on. You can date multiple people. You could be outside. You could still get cheated on. Can you find someone that you feel has, really strong morals in that space and was raised in...
What's good, G. Marie Rochester? Now, I want y'all to understand, she made it a point to say that she's dated men that has never cheated because she was the one doing the cheating. That's why.
And you could still get cheated on. The last part of this, though, that I will also add is that when you're talking about people who are in the entertainment industry, when you're talking about people who have access to a variety of different spaces, you can't apply that to everyone's lifestyle. And generally, if you have more access and temptation, it makes it more difficult to stay on the rails. Now, I'm not saying that your man isn't cheating because he doesn't have the opportunity to. I'm just saying that those sensibilities change as well. You cannot control other people's behavior. People are going to treat you how they want to treat you because that's what humans are. Humans do what they want to do.
It's interesting because, Joy lost her podcast partner. I think Taylor Rooks left the podcast recently, I believe. I wonder why Taylor Rooks left. Why did you leave, Taylor Rooks? Is it because you don't want to get exposed next? Taylor Rooks, let me tell you something right now. If you have a hairdresser or a makeup artist and you work with her and she gets fired, she's going to expose you too. She's going to, especially if y'all not friends no more. So, maybe she wants to distance herself from Joy because she wants it, people to know that she's not like her. Now, I'm going to play another video. This is from Law and Crime. I'm going to play this video from Law and Crime. Law and Crime is talking about the details of this lawsuit and why I believe this is a campaign of embarrassment, so they pay her to go away. What's good, Gerald? All right, people. Again, make sure y'all like the stream. We're going to get into this video from the Law and Crime channel.
More sexual misconduct allegations against high-profile celebrities. This time, Fox Sports and two of its biggest stars are in the hot seat. A former hairstylist has filed a lawsuit accusing Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, and others of sexual battery and harassment, even going so far as to say Bayless offered her more than $1 million for sex. We've got our hands on this law.
Yo, I know Skip is competitive. But Skip, are you really going to offer, like I said, we don't know these people. I understand we don't know these people. We don't know what they are. We know Skip is highly competitive. The man is paranoid. He believes that all the women in their particular area of the office there wanted Shannon, was sleeping with Shannon, So we know he has jealousy issues. That's why he acts the way he did. He acted the way he did towards Shannon. I think he underestimated Shannon and the fact that Shannon would be able to move on and basically take the audience with him. But 1.5 million for box is crazy. The rich Arabs over there in Dubai is not offering $1 million for no box. Okay. Listen, the Saudis, the Arabs in Dubai, where else? Qatar, all those different places. West Africa, those West African billionaires, they're not offering $1 million for no box whatsoever. So I don't know, because we know that women embellish a whole hell of a lot. I think Skip, if Skip did say this, he was joking. I don't think Skip Bayless was serious about paying her $1.5 million to have relations. I don't believe he was being serious if he said this, I don't believe Skip was being serious. But she put it in a lawsuit anyway.
And we are bringing you the most shocking claims. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Now, as soon as this hit the headlines, we knew we had to cover it, right? The sexual misconduct allegations that have rocked the sports world. Los Angeles hairstylist Nushin Faraji says that she worked with Fox Sports from 2012 to August of last year, and during that time, she claims she was not only subjected to a hostile work environment that included inappropriate comments and touching, but she says she also dealt with retaliation from the company for speaking out. So she has filed both a class action complaint, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later, and an individual complaint on multiple grounds, including things like failure to pay minimum wages, unfair, unlawful, or fraudulent business practices, hostile work environment, and sexual battery. Now, in the opening paragraph of her complaint in this lawsuit, it reads, Ms. Faraji brings forth this action because for over a decade at Fox, she was forced to endure a misogynistic, racist, and ableist workplace where executives and talent were allowed to physically and verbally abuse workers with impunity.
But the thing is, now again, I don't know of any other lawsuits, so maybe y'all know more than me. I don't know if anybody recently has sued Fox Sports about the workplace environment. She's the only one who's doing that. But again, this woman was there for 12 years, and you stayed there for 12 years until you were let go. This is my problem. You only want to sue when you don't have a job. When you had a job, there was no lawsuit. Now, according to her, she went to HR, she made complaints, but when you continue to work there, those people are not going to take your complaint seriously because you continue to work in that environment. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she should that she should have to put up, but that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, if the environment is that way, you have to leave, and she never did. She never, until she got let go last year, and then she leaves. What's up, Jay Thomas? What's good, up close and personal? Make sure y'all like the stream and click that join button and become a member.
When Ms. Faraji and others came forward to report the wrongdoing, instead of addressing their concerns, Fox retaliated against them while the perpetrators and those who protected them were inexplicably promoted. This case thus represents yet another in a long line of cases chronicling the toxic culture at Fox, marked by bad faith promises and repeated failures to address a poisonous and entrenched patriarchy. Now you might be saying this thing, I'm not a sports fan. I have no idea who we're talking.
Of course. And by the way, I don't trust any man that doesn't watch sports. But anyway, right. The money was definitely too good. But she's talking about a patriarchy. Once again, using feminist terminology. It makes me trust you less when you talk that feminists talk about patriarchy. I don't know. It's kind of, when women start using that patriarchy type, I tend to believe them less. Okay, that means you already have a built-in bias towards these men anyway.
Talking about that.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how.
Let this pass.
Fox Sports 1. And by the way, that's apparently Fox's flagship multi-sport national network. And he is responsible for overseeing the content and production for the network and has the authority to make decisions about employees. Skip Bayless is a renowned, albeit controversial, sports commentator who's worked in print, radio, television for decades. He's worked as a commentator with Stephen A. Smith on ESPN2's show First Take. This is before he debuted his own show with Shannon Sharpe called Skip and Shannon Undisputed. This was on Fox Sports 1 in 2016. And that, by the way, is where he worked with Nushin Faraji, who was part of the styling team for the network. And by the way, in 2021, the New York Post reported that Bayless had signed a $32 million contract with Fox. It's important when we talk about his wealth a little bit later. All right, now before we go any further, I have to talk to you guys about something. This is huge for me. I cannot tell you how excited I am about this, but there is a grooming line called Brickle. I've been using it, talking about it for years. From employment. So, on January 3rd, Faraji filed this complaint, laying out what she says had happened to her during her time at Fox Sports. And according to Faraji, she had worked part-time for Fox starting in 2012 and then went full-time in 2016. During that time, she says she befriended Joy Taylor, and this was after Taylor had moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the chance to host on Fox Sports. According to Faraji, Taylor didn't have a regular position at the time, but was available to fill in when needed. Now this is where it gets interesting, because Faraji claims that when she would go out to meet Taylor for dinner or drinks, Charlie Dixon, again, the vice president for content, was always around.
Let me tell y'all something. There's a Charlie Dixon in all y'all cities. All you dudes that are married or in relationships, there's always a Charlie Dixon that's trying to mac on your chick. You know, these women are working for dudes who are willing to give them promotions and money, and you have women that fall for it. There's a Charlie Dixon everywhere, right? And some of these dudes out here, especially you dudes who hate the manosphere, because I you know what's funny, and this is a side note, you know, I've been watching different content from different people, and some of these guys have been mentioning the manosphere as if it's a bad thing. If it wasn't for a manosphere, you dudes will continue to get completely humiliated, embarrassed, and life ruined by these women. And because we've been telling y'all that these Charlie Dixons of the world are screwing your women, and y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all don't want to hear that Charlie Dixon is screwing your women. The women that you think love you and, you know, is faithful to you. No, she's faithful to money and power. So there's a guy like this in every one of these cities that's screwing your women, especially you dudes who have your head in the sand and you want to hate the manosphere because you such a sucker and a simp and you believe everything these women tell you. These women out here screwing men like this behind your back. It happened to Joy Taylor's husband.
That she didn't even know he was an executive with the company until later when she mentioned to Taylor that she'd seen that guy who always buys us drinks in the elevator. And that is when she said that Taylor shushed her, explained what Dixon's position was in the company. And Faraji believed, based on her interactions with these two people, that they were sleeping together. And when she warned Taylor that that might not be a great idea, that a relationship like that could be dangerous, Taylor allegedly told her not to worry about it. And by the way, apparently both Dixon and Taylor were married at the time. So according to the complaint, in approximately July of 2016, word spread amongst Fox employees about a new show that was going to be a big deal as it would star Mr. Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. It was known that Fox was looking for a woman with significant TV experience to also star. Therefore, it came as a surprise when Fox announced that Miss Taylor, who is a bartender and radio host in Miami with very little TV experience, would be the moderator of the new...
She was out here fixing drinks and doing some radio in Miami. Now all of a sudden she's on TV.
Show, a sports debate program, Skip and Shannon Undisputed. So Faraji claims that Bayless didn't want Taylor to host the show. In fact, in the lawsuit, she claims that at a dinner between Taylor and Bayless, Taylor shows up, she's dressed, and starts acting very provocatively, potentially in a way to change his opinion about her being on the show. But eventually, Bayless agreed to approve her on the show as a favor to Dixon. Oh.
Now, think about that. Think about that. Just think about that. We supposed to believe that Skip Bayless is out here offering $1.5 million for box, but then you got Joy Taylor showing up to this dinner, dressing provocatively, being flirtatious towards Skip, which I'm pretty sure she was, basically prostituting herself, visually prostituting herself to Skip Bayless. Now, that's a woman who gets online and act like none of these men can get her. Listen, if they had Charlie Dixon's money and status, they could. Visual prostitution, that was. But we supposed to believe this guy was serious about giving the hairdresser $1.5 million. What's good, Van Bivens? Happy New Year to you. What's good, Mark? Make sure y'all like the stream. KD was good. So that woman actually believed that Skip Bayless did not care how sexy she showed up. He was like, I don't want this woman on the show.
Okay, when the show premiered in 2016, Taylor, according to Ms. Faraji, had requested that Faraji be her hairstylist, and eventually Bayless had asked her to do his hair as well. Not long after, in January of 2017, Faraji claims that she had attended a birthday party for Taylor. When she goes to this birthday party, she says that Dixon was there, and he was drinking quite heavily. The complaint reads, as Ms. Faraji was standing near the bar facing the crowd, Mr. Dixon approached her. He asked the bartender for a drink and then placed his arm on Ms. Faraji's lower back. He asked how she was doing, if she was having fun, and if she wanted a tequila shot. Ms. Faraji felt very uncomfortable by his unsolicited touching and responded, no thank you. Mr. Dixon then moved his hand lower and started rubbing her body and grabbing her buttocks. Ms. Faraji was mortified, but quickly thought to fake an incoming call to escape from the situation. The complaint goes on to say Ms. Faraji did not know who to turn to, but as she knew Ms. Taylor was sleeping with Mr. Dixon, she turned to her. Surprisingly, Ms. Taylor responded to get over it and explained that she herself only had her job because of Mr. Dixon and that Ms. Faraji only had her job because Ms. Taylor requested her. She warned that Mr. Dixon could take both away. The complaint goes on, Ms. Faraji was terrified and then turned.
Let me say this, man. This got some layers to it. It has some layers to it. Jen Washington, she is a scorned woman because you went through all this quote-unquote harassment, but you stayed until you got let go. Like, if you would have left years ago, I could understand the lawsuit. I could understand the things that you went through. You left the company. You left that job. It's more believable. But when you get fired, you get let go, and I'm pretty sure she asked them not to let her go. Right? And she built a file up on all of this. And this is why she threw Joy Taylor on the bus, because she couldn't put all of this info that she's putting now into it without throwing Joy Taylor under the bus. You rarely see women publicly throw each other under the bus. You rarely see it, especially when they're trying to put a lawsuit about harassment toward, from men. You never see a woman throw another woman. You never see that. But to make this thing more believable, she had to throw her under the bus. And also their friendship had dissolved. But Joy Taylor sounds like the type of woman who would absolutely say this. Yes, she only had her job because of him, because she had no talent, no skills. And, she was sleeping with this man. Right, Big J TV, she got fired. That is the big case, the whole thing it is. And I think she thought she was going to get on TV. I think Nosheen thought that maybe one day she'd get on TV. And it never happened.
Turned to her coworker Anonymous to discuss the situation. Anonymous responded that Mr. Dixon was disgusting, that the entire situation was sick, that it wasn't shocking given Fox's culture, and that Ms. Faraji should remain quiet if she wanted to keep her job. As a single mother who needed the job to support her son, Ms. Faraji had no choice but to remain silent. So, by the way, that is one of the reasons why you might be saying, well, if all this happened, why didn't she file a lawsuit sooner? And we'll get into more of the allegations. But this is a reason. She needed the job. That's something that I will think will come up in a potential lawsuit, a potential trial, if she's being grilled under cross-examination. Okay, moving forward. Later on in the complaint, Faraji claims that Taylor continued to use her sexuality to advance at the Fox company. And she did that by allegedly sleeping with Emmanuel Acho, a former football player turned commentator. So the lawsuit reads, quote, in approximately February 2020, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. When Miss Faraji arrived, she found Miss Taylor with a man, Emmanuel Acho. Miss Faraji didn't know.
Have y'all noticed? Now, she has dates and years, right? Every time she meets up with her, she always has a man with her. You know? Yeah, Fox Sports does seem like an awful place to work. It really does. It does seem like an awful place to work.
Mr. Acho, but could tell that the two were romantically involved. A few months after meeting Mr. Acho at the lunch, Miss Faraji noticed him in the hallway while at work. Miss Faraji later asked Miss Taylor if Mr. Acho also worked at Fox. Miss Taylor confirmed and explained that she wanted Mr. Acho to eventually recommend her on the show Speak for Yourself. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that she should probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time, as Mr. Dixon is a very powerful man that may become very angry. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. She explained that
So she was sleeping with both of the men at the same time. Now, mind you, this was after her relationship with Earl Watson. So she was sleeping with this dude the whole time. I see why Earl got up out of there. This girl was dipping in two pools at the same time. How can you do that? Dipping in different pools at the same time.
was also now powerful, and once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon.
I took two things.
Well, it's too late for that because we know the game. We know the game that you were trying to play. We figured it out, and you can't play it anymore. We figured it out.
Sexual battery.
She was literally gonna lie. Listen, first off, that's what, Charlie Dixon shouldn't have put himself in that situation, but this guy was groomed in a culture of this. He probably saw this all the time in TV. But again, he's putting himself in that situation. And you would think that these men are supposedly smart. They should know this, but they don't understand women. These guys are so quote unquote smart, they don't know a damn thing about female nature. And that's why they hate the red pill. They hate the manosphere, because it's a mirror and it shows them how dumb and weak they really are.
So Faraji says in addition to doing hair for the talent, she was also required to give haircuts to Bayless once a week. And she says that's when he started finding excuses to touch her, including giving her these lingering hugs and kisses on her cheek, where he would also press against her breasts. In approximately summer of 2017, while Miss Faraji was giving Mr. Bayless a haircut, he told her that she was voluptuous. As English is her second language and she was not familiar with the word, Miss Faraji asked what that meant. Mr. Bayless seemed amused and told her to, quote, figure it out. Miss Faraji later asked a coworker what the word meant and was mortified. Mr. Bayless then started being more aggressive and direct in his advances. Miss Faraji continuously declined, stating that she did not date at work as she is a single mom and needed her job. And Faraji also made further stunning allegations against Bayless, including that he offered her money for sex. You remember when I talked about his wealth? Well, the complaint reads, quote, in July of 2021, Miss Faraji developed issues with her left ovary and was advised it could be cancer. With a fourth biopsy scheduled, she explained her situation to Mr. Bayless, hoping that he would take pity on her and cease his advances. Instead, Mr. Bayless told her that he wanted to be with her. Miss Faraji panicked.
Y'all know, and that's the crazy thing. Like, these are supposed to be now again, this is all alleged. This is all alleged. But if there's any truth to this, you're in Los Angeles. You know how many beautiful women are just walking down the street that you could get with? I mean, LA, say whatever you want about it, is the attractive capital of America or the world when it comes to women. You got women from all over the world who come to that particular city every day. And you want to trick off on the hairdresser? That's the thing I'm like, all the women you could trick off on and not have to deal with the workplace drama, and you trying to allegedly trying to trick off on the hairdresser, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Skip just ain't around women like that. Even though Skip is well-traveled, he's lived in different places, he's worked in different places. And, you know, Skip sometimes talk like he done dealt with all these different women, right? Yeah, New York too. Like, if you live in New York and LA, why would you even want to mess with the women at your job? There are attractive women everywhere in your city.
It began rambling that there were cameras everywhere, that she has a child, that she does not want him. Mr. Bayless then grabbed her hands, began kissing them, and offered her $1.5 million to have sex. Ms. Faraji made an excuse to leave. The complaint goes on. Approximately 1 week later, Mr. Bayless made another advance at Ms. Faraji. Ms. Faraji responded, "Skip, stop, you have a wife." Mr. Bayless responded, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives?" Ms. Faraji responded that her father was dead, and when Mr. Bayless looked taken aback, she made an excuse to leave. Now, at one point...
Shout out to the Revelator. Skip is married. He's married to Ernestine, but, you know, that's the thing. Like, Skip has never shown that he was interested in women like that, never made jokes towards any type of sexual anything with women, but he's always talking about Ernestine as his wife. Appreciate you being a member. Never date in the workplace. It is a trap, especially if you are a man and you need that job. What are you doing? Well, phenomenal. I say that towards everybody. I always say alleged towards everybody. This ain't just this situation. Nobody can sue me for nothing because I'm playing this video and I'm speaking on the documents. So you can miss me with that lawsuit shit. I can make this whole live stream and not say alleged one time because there's a woman suing. And according to her people, not people, but the people close to the situation, she has receipts. So it may not be alleged for long. Okay? There might be more information that comes out. So I would hold the horses on the everybody's innocent, and I am going to keep saying alleged, but, you know, if more come out, I don't think it's going to make anybody in this situation look good. You know, especially Skip. This is why I believe Skip Bayless left Fox Sports, because I think he knew this lawsuit was coming. He did not want to get fired. He did not want to have to deal with the scrutiny of being tied to Fox Sports as an employee. So yes, I say this in a lot of different situations. I'm always using alleged. That's why I've been doing this for over 10 years. And I've never had to take no video down. I ain't never had to make no apologies because I know how to do this. Yeah, he did quit before being fired.
During her tenure at Fox Sports, Bayless reportedly started to think that Faraji was in a sexual relationship with his co-host Shannon Sharpe. This is a big point in the complaint. And he allegedly confronted Faraji about it. And Faraji denied having any sort of relationship with Shannon Sharpe, saying that she was just nice to all the talent, then he was just misunderstanding the situation. And Faraji says that she even used a recording device to capture one of the conversations with Skip Bayless. Quote,
"Oh my God, listen. Yo, y'all keep going at this woman. She's going to drop the recordings. Oh my God. Skip. Skip, bro, you better hope you wasn't recorded. Skip, you better hope that there's no recording. Because I think when this woman sees what people are saying, she's going to drop that recording. For Skip's sake, I hope there's no recording. But if there's one thing that women do well, is they're always recording. They're always recording, man. Never allow yourself to be recorded. Don't be sending crazy text messages, and don't allow yourself to be recorded. Because if she was recording you, Skip, because this, man, this is all in her paperwork, her lawsuit. She's confident that she has this stuff. Women love to record. They love to take screenshots and they love to record. You got to be careful what you say to these women. They're always building files. She's been doing nothing but building files, keeping journals of all her interactions. They really was that comfortable around her. You can't record a person without their permission in California. Well, that's the only thing that would keep her from putting it out. Now, if she has a recording and she's not supposed to have it, she could be in trouble. If that's the case in California, But she's saying she got recordings. This is going to be a crazy couple of days, man, because what if one of them recordings get dropped? Stop being thirsty for women in your workplace.
Mr. Bayless then arrived in the makeup room for Ms. Faraji to cut his hair in accordance with his regular schedule. Mr. Bayless knew that the makeup room was always recorded and clearly states, "This room is bugged." During their
So apparently they have a recording device already in there. So he knew that it was recorded. He knew. So okay. So there's no illegal recordings. The particular place where they get their hair done, they have that everybody knows that the place is recorded. If Skip Bayless knows that that place is recorded and he said these things anyway, he is cooked. You know? So if he already knew that he was being recorded, yes, it's not illegal. If he already knew the place was recorded and he's saying these things anyway, that would, if he did say these things, knowing the room was recorded, there was recording going on in there, he is not as smart as I thought he was, and he is very just naive when it comes to women.
Conversation, Mr. Bayless stated that he would hate for her to lose her job, but she can't be doing a big thing with my arch rival. She responded by reiterating that being polite to Mr. Sharpe is part of her job. Mr. Bayless responded, "BS, BS, BS, I'm calling BS on you." Mr. Bayless then warned her that he doesn't want her to lose her job over this. Ms. Faraji responded that she wasn't going to lose her job because she's a great hairdresser. Mr. Bayless responded, "I have love for you and I have for 6 years and you hurt me and you are ruining this." Ms. Faraji again responded that she must be polite to all talent. Mr. Bayless then implied that if he stopped requesting her, it would affect her job. Later on,
man, just imagine if that stuff is recorded. That is a very detailed conversation. I'm not saying that it's true. I'm not saying that everything is alleged. As I always say in these situations, everything is alleged, but it's not looking good. It's getting worse. Every time you listen and you read up on these things, it gets worse and worse and worse. And now Skip Bayless is doing a podcast with Ernestine. Because he never did anything with Ernestine. Now he's doing a podcast with Ernestine. Y'all can put two and two together.
The complaint reads, on December 21st, 2023, Mr. Bayless told Ms. Faraji that he still loved her and confided that Mr. Dixon was the one who had told him that Ms. Faraji was sleeping with Mr. Sharpe. Mr. Bayless then again tried to have sex with Ms. Faraji. Ms. Faraji's diary entry for that day states, I said, Skip, I'm only interested in working with you and having friendship relationship with you and nothing else. He said, you have no idea you were losing everything. I don't know what he means by that, and I hope he doesn't take me off the show. It makes me sick to my stomach, and it's really hard for me to work like this. I hope God help me because Fox is supporting people like Charlie and Skip. Now, a little side note here. If there is a recording, that is very important evidence for Faraji, on top of what she seems to suggest are text messages between her and Bayless. For example, in the complaint it reads, on April 14th, 2022, Mr. Bayless texted Ms. Faraji, if you're distracted tomorrow, I'll wait till Monday, but I can't keep doing this. Ms. Faraji told him that she was very confused. Mr. Bayless responded, trust me, I'm far more confused. And Ms. Faraji then explained over text that she is not sleeping with Mr. Sharpe. Mr. Bayless did not respond. Now, there could be a way for Skip Bayless to explain that, right?
Yeah,
you could say perhaps this was about her work performance, that this is something along the lines of, this is, if she's sleeping with Shannon Sharpe, then this is going to be problematic for her. It's going to be problematic for the show. There might be a way for him to argue against that, right? Perhaps this was something else. And I should also say that a lot of these alleged conversations, these interactions that center around sex between Faraji and Bayless, they seem to be in person. So this is a he said, she said situation. But if you have text messages, if you have a recording, that changes the game.
You've got the exercise plan.
It does. It really does. It does change things. That's why hopefully Skip, there's no recordings that comes out where you really are trying to sleep with this woman. You don't even have to say that you're trying to sleep with this woman, but when people see or listen to what you're saying, they're going to interpret that's what he was trying to do. Do I believe Shannon Sharpe had a relationship with that woman? I think he did. I think Shannon Sharpe probably did smash. You know what I'm saying? I think he probably did. And so what? If they two consenting adults, I don't condone having relations with a coworker, but that woman, she not accusing Shannon Sharpe of harassing her. She's accusing Skip because Skip, she wasn't attracted to you. She wasn't attracted. She was more attracted to that melanated ex-athlete than she was to you. And I think that bothers Skip. He's like, why are they showing this black ex-football player attention and not me? I'm smart. I keep myself in shape. I'm, in my 60s or now in my 70s, you know? He couldn't understand that. See, Skip, you need some red pill. You need a red pill life lesson, Skip. You need to listen to the manosphere, because if you would have listened to us, you wouldn't be facing total embarrassment and ruin. And now you're in this situation. She ain't mentioned Shannon Sharpe at all. We can interpret that however. Maybe they didn't have relations with each other, but she's not accusing Shannon of nothing, even though Shannon, according to what I heard from Jason Whitlock, Shannon was very much more flirtatious and always joking and always in these particular females' faces like that. But none of these women are accusing Shannon of anything. You see, Skip, unfortunately, they saw you as a creep. They probably didn't like the things that you said on television. They didn't like your personality. They didn't relate to you. That is why. I don't think that this Nasheen female, she's not above sleeping with married men. She probably slept with married men before. But she was unwilling to sleep with you, Skip, because she wasn't attracted to you. That's just how it is. She wasn't attracted to you. She's more attracted. I'm not saying she did anything with them, but if she did, I mean, whatever. The two consenting adults, her and Shannon, right? If they did anything. But it just comes down to Skip. Women, there are women out there, Skip. They have pre-selection when it comes to men. You were not a part of that with her. She was not willing to sleep with you because she wasn't attracted to you. She didn't see you as somebody that she would have sex with, even though this woman probably sleeps with all types of men. But she didn't want you, Skip. And that's what bothers you. You probably see all these different men in her face. She's joking with them, laughing with them, right? Probably going to lunch with them. And you didn't understand why. Why not you, right? Because she didn't want you. That's all there is to it. That's it. You're in Los Angeles. Attractive women everywhere. I'm going to see what the population of Los Angeles is. Population of Los Angeles, California.
In 2023,
Okay, I don't need that lesson. Let's see. There's over, 3 million people in Los Angeles? Let's see, when it comes to demographics. Women. Let's see. The female population as of 2022 is what? 1.9 million? Percent of LA is female. So there's a big percentage of women there. That's the whole reason of me doing this. There's a lot of women in LA. You walk outside your house, there's like 8s and 9s walking all over the place. Skip. Now I understand, Skip, you have that competitiveness, but bro, the one and Jason Whitlock says something similar, but I'm gonna say it in my own way. I'm not gonna use his words. Bro, it's pre-selection. She preferred his company more than yours. She appreciated his personality more than yours. Maybe you are an asshole and people don't like being around you. That's all it is.
Back to Shannon Sharpe for a minute. He gave a brief response to the allegations Sunday night on his YouTube show called Nightcap, basically saying this has nothing to do with him.
I don't know why everybody if you notice, everybody's posted it. They got me. In the 42 pages, it don't mention nothing about Shannon Sharpe did anything. But y'all want to get clicks, so y'all mention me.
And to be clear, Faraji doesn't accuse Shannon Sharpe of any sort of misconduct.
Right, because he was her listening ear. He was her listening ear. Because Shannon dates women like her all the time. See, Skip, I don't know how long it's been since Skip has been a bachelor, but, Shannon has been out there as a bachelor more recently than Skip. So Shannon knows how to talk to these women, deal with these women. Skip does not. All right? That's why Skip is mentioned in this lawsuit and not Shannon.
Here, and Sharpe and Bayless, by the way, no love lost there. They have clashed multiple times on air, and Sharpe eventually left the show in 2023. Now, the lawsuit also lays out multiple allegations of workplace harassment and discrimination related to Faraji's Persian heritage, her accent, her humming. According to Faraji, she hums as a coping mechanism for PTSD, and she's been doing that since she was a child, something that everyone at Fox knew. But she had been humming for all the years she worked at Fox, but says toward the end of her time there were suddenly complaints about it. When Undisputed was canceled in August and Bayless left, Faraji was taken off the schedule. When she questioned her supervisors about it, they couldn't really give her any answer as to why. That's at least what she says. And several days later, Fox told her that they could only afford one hairdresser to work on all 3 shows, a new morning show, Speak, and Undisputed. And Faraji's attorneys say in the complaint, Fox systematically reduced her work schedule and ultimately terminated her employment by removing her from the schedule.
Right, Daisy. Maybe her humming was hella annoying. You know, people trying to concentrate, they're trying to make sure they get prepared for the show. And maybe she was humming hella loud. And it was like, man, she don't deal with this humming, right? It was nothing nefarious about that. I don't think there was anything nefarious about that. I think that's just a complaint she's putting in there.
Entirely using fabricated business necessities as a pretext. At this point, Ms. Faraji seeks justice. She knows that Mr. Dixon used his position of power to coerce women into having sex with him and used it as a justification to grope Ms. Faraji. She knows that Mr. Dixon did not immediately fire her after Ms. Taylor and Ms. Faraji had a falling out, only to appease Mr. Bayless by providing him with a plaything. Despite Ms. Faraji being an excellent hairdresser and continuously being requested by talent, she was shrunken down to how much she could appease Mr. Bayless, and once Mr. Bayless was gone, so was her job.
So it looks like she was mainly there for Undisputed, is what it looks like to me. Yeah, this is worded very strategically. What's good, Be Fierce? It looks to me like, her purpose for being there was for Undisputed. And once Undisputed was gone, they had no use for her. That's how it goes. People get laid off all the time. People get let go from jobs all the time. It happens. She's been at that place for 12 years. ESPN fired Robert Griffin III after signing him to a contract. A year after signing him to a contract, they fired him? They've had long tenured employees over at the Worldwide Leader who they fired because they were making too much money. That happens. It happens. She was mainly working on that particular show is what it looks like. And once that show is gone, they really don't have any work for her. Yeah, these networks lay off people all the time. She's been there for 12 years. She probably was making a good salary too, a tenured employee for 12 years. It's not like she was on there for a couple of years. She was there for 12 years. And they decided, we want to go with somebody who costs a lot less and, who we feel like we want to move forward with. You were mainly working on the Undisputed show. So she got let go. It happens, and she took it very personally because in her mind, she was willing to put up with all of this as long as she had a job. But I think she did not realize that Skip was the only reason why she was there for so long. Because even when Shannon Sharpe left, she still had a job there. Now, I'm not saying that Skip is right. I'm not saying that Skip is absolved of any guilt. What I'm saying is Skip probably is the reason why she wasn't let go sooner. They probably been wanting to let her go. But Skip probably said, no, let her stay. And now she done put him in this lawsuit. Because if you look at the thing with Skip, it's almost like it's one of those situations where, how when women say they don't like when men approach them, but let a man that they're really attracted to approach them and they're giving that man all her attention. It's like that. Women want to pick and choose the type of men that approach them. And when you approach, when you have a guy that approaches a woman and that woman is not attracted to him, what does she do? She calls him a creep and a loser. And that seems like how she felt about Skip. She saw him as that guy that she wasn't attracted to that was trying to get with her.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, Faraji is filing both her own individual complaint and she's wanting to bring a class action lawsuit against Fox on behalf of, quote, all non-exempt hourly individuals who worked for Fox in California during the period commencing 4 years prior to filing of this complaint. Now, a few things I'll just mention about a class action. So this is a call to action about other people coming forward instead of them all filing individual lawsuits against Fox. If you have a bunch of plaintiffs who are basically alleging the same thing, the same kind of issues, you can combine that into one giant lawsuit, one giant class act.
Right, Daisy. She should have opened her own salon. With the money that she was making and the connections that she made, she should have opened her own business. She didn't do it. She didn't do it. She probably was splurging, spending up her money, wasn't saving nothing, didn't want to start her own business because she thought she was going to have a job for life at Fox Sports. And she was already building a file just in case she got fired. Because look how quickly this lawsuit happened, because she got let go in August. And it's January and you're hearing about this lawsuit. Lawsuits don't happen overnight. It takes time. I believe she had been preparing for a while. And as soon as she was let go in August, that's when she got the process going.
Lawsuit, and she would presumably be the representative of that group. And there's a lot of reasons why you do a class action lawsuit. One of them, it helps with efficiency. Instead of the courts dealing with multiple lawsuits and witnesses, the same kind of witnesses having to testify in so many different trials. In terms of a practical result, in terms of efficiency, it can all be done at one trial. And also, it might be a strategic advantage for a settlement action as well if you have multiple plaintiffs as well. And this lawsuit says it's believed that there are more than 100 employees and former employees who would qualify after having not been paid properly for things like overtime, double shifts, and more. And on behalf of herself, for her individual complaint, this is now specific to her, maybe not the other plaintiffs here, she has filed the following causes of action. Sexual battery. So this is...
You don't know about...
Now, I guess it's going to go into some of that particular detail. This whole lawsuit is crazy because she was just working for them in August. She was just there in August of last year. It's not like she'd been gone for like a year or 2 years. She was just there in August and she got let go and she wanted to know why.
Actions of both Dixon and Bayless. Dixon, it was for that alleged incident that happened at the birthday party. And for Bayless, it was for those lingering hugs after each haircut, where there was also allegations of him kissing her cheek too. And by the way, it's not just a claim against these two guys. No, it's also against Fox, arguing that the company is legally liable for the actions of its employees. In the law, we call that respondeat superior. She's also suing for hostile work environment in relation to sex or gender, race or national origin, and disability. We talked a little bit earlier about what those claims are about. Failure to prevent harassment. So that is against the Fox defendants because the argument would be it was their job to take all reasonable steps to prevent discrimination or harassment. Negligent supervision, hiring, and retention. So this is in relation to the employment of people like Skip Bayless and Charlie Dixon. Retaliation, wrongful termination, this idea that she was engaging in protected activity under the law, particularly speaking out about things, and she was punished for it. And, she was defending herself and she was punished for it. So she is seeking restitution, damages for employees who would be involved in this class action lawsuit. She's also requesting damages like compensatory damages for herself. And Faraji also wants Fox to fire the multiple people who were involved here, including Charlie Dixon, Joy Taylor, and Faraji's direct supervisor, Gina Peretti, who she also accused.
Now, wait a minute. So not only do you want money, but she wants them fired. So not only does she want money, compensation, she wants all these people to be fired. What does that tell y'all? So she not just looking for money. She wants these people to be fired. She wants Joy Taylor to be fired. Yo, this is a whole lot of like scorned, angry lawsuit. I've seen some lawsuits, but this looks like a very angry lawsuit. She wants all these people fired too. Not only does she want to sue for money, she also wants them fired. What do you want next, Nosheen? Do you want your job back as well with a bigger salary and your own corner office as well? Like, what are we doing here? This is a very angry and spiteful lawsuit from a woman who didn't quit. She got fired recently as of August of last year. Now she wants even her boss. She wants her boss fired. not Charlie Dixon. She wants another woman fired. This is a very angry and spiteful lawsuit.
Activity under the law, particularly speaking out about things, and she was punished for it. And, she was defending herself and she was punished for it. So she is seeking restitution, damages for employees who would be involved in this class action lawsuit. She's also requesting damages, like compensatory damages for herself. And Faraji also wants Fox to fire the multiple people who were involved here, including Charlie Dixon, Joy Taylor, and Faraji's direct supervisor, Gina Peretti.
And she wants her direct supervisor to be fired too. This is an angry, vengeful woman, right? She wants other women fired. So it's hard it would be hard for me or anybody to look at this and say she's fighting for women. No, she's fighting for herself because she could have left years ago. I'm telling you. Some of these companies are just going to tell these people to go get your hair done by your own hairdressers from now on. This is crazy. She wants everybody fired.
Who she also accuses of bullying her. Now, Fox Sports released a statement to Front Office Sports over the weekend saying, "We take these allegations seriously and have no further comment at this time given this pending litigation." And at the time of this recording, no response from Skip Bayless or his legal team. That may change. They may just decide to provide an answer in their legal filings. But the first thing that would happen, of course, is after this, is there would be an answer to these allegations. There could also be a potential motion to dismiss, which we might see as well. But clearly, this is the start of what could be a protracted litigation, really has shaken up the sports world, and we will see where it goes.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. But this woman just seems like very angry and just very spiteful. She wants people fired. That's what it looks like. It looks like a shakedown. Looks like a shakedown to me. I'm not saying that these people are innocent, but it's a shakedown. It's a shakedown. Not only does this woman want money, she wants people fired. Like in most lawsuits, people just want the money. They could care less about who works there. She wants people fired. She wants people fired. Yeah, Taylor Rooks has gotten out of there. Taylor Rooks wants nothing to do with that situation. See, this is why you do not deal with women in the workplace. It can come back to bite you. Skip, you should have been smarter, bro. I think he saw Shannon Sharpe flirting with her, and he wanted to do the same thing, but you're not Shannon Sharpe. You're Skip Bayless. And she clearly wasn't into Caucasian men up there, because listen, if Nosheen was a black woman, I don't think she'd be trying to get with all the white men up there. Look at Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor was like, just deal with it. But she didn't want nothing to do with them white men. She wanted nothing to do with them white men. But she cool with Shannon Sharpe, though, and I think that ate away at Skip Bayless's soul, according to her. No wonder Skip started rocking, Air Jordans and his chain at work. I'm like, why is this guy wearing this chain? But his necklace is chain and he wearing Air Jordans. This is a Tony Busby shakedown. They want other ex-Fox employees to join it. Yeah, that's what it looks like. No Moon says, yep, happened to, so it happened to you. Rill's got her own controversy fling going on with the former owner of Twitter. Right. Listen, Taylor Rooks gets a lot of work in the sports world. I'm saying to myself, why? I mean, what is her qualification except for looking sexy in her interviews? Right? How is she qualified to have these jobs? I know we've all seen women and we say to ourselves, how did she get that job? Oh, we know how she got that job. We know how she got that job. It's absolutely, it's insane to me, but it just shows you where we are. And, you know, honestly, when I look at the way things are, the fact that Skip hasn't said anything yet, he hasn't released a statement, because Skip doesn't feel like he did anything wrong. I don't think Joy Taylor has said anything. Emmanuel Acho deleting videos. This woman is clearly looking to have a cash grab. This is a cash grab. This is her trying to cash out. This is her looking for a quick payday. So I got involved with someone at work. We both got fired. Okay, no more. See, that's the thing that, yeah, you be careful of getting into workplace relationships. They never end well. Because what happens is if y'all stop talking to each other and one person starts to talk to other people, it's going to create drama. I've seen it where men have lost their jobs over women flipping out and accusing them of things at the workplace because he had a relationship with her and he broke up with her. Salute to everybody. So make sure y'all like the stream. Joy was really going to accuse the guy that she was messing around with. She was going to accuse him of assault. And y'all wonder why I say what I say about these heifers and why I claim I say the Me Too movement is bullshit. How many of y'all remember the what's that movement called? The woman that did the walk around the city. Can't think of that fucking movement. It came and went. It was the cat calling movement. Y'all remember that shit came and went because nobody really cat calls like that. If it does happen, it happened in like maybe New York, but I think it's isolated. All right. They try to push this narrative that men are just out here being thirsty for women. Yeah, look at Malika Andrews. How did Malika Andrews end up at ESPN? Let's ask her new husband how she ended up at ESPN, because I think he was there before she was. She was a no-name local reporter on the West Coast who went from there to all of a sudden she's on TV on ESPN. How did she get there? But in her situation, she actually married the guy that got her there. She married the guy that got her there. Her and her talentless sister, who got in trouble for saying something stupid. Yeah, the cat calling video where they edited out all the white guys, right? Because it was some white beta male that wanted to showcase how all these black men were catcalling this white woman, right? That completely fell apart. And apparently that girl that did that video, she was in a relationship with the guy that That was his whole idea. I doubt they're together to now. Because, you know, that was it was BS and it went nowhere. All right, people. That's it for me. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all like the stream if you haven't. Make sure y'all follow me on all the socials. Facebook, X, Instagram. You can send me topics on all those platforms. And through email. Email's in the description box. I'm on TikTok as well, JayeDeBlack. Make sure y'all follow me so y'all can send me things that I can make videos on. Listen, people, I don't want to have to go look for topics. Because, I mean, I know, shout out to the people that send me stuff through email, but there are topics I come across. I'm like, why nobody ain't sent me this? End up been like 2-3 days, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, people, that is it for me. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all go and check out the 2 videos I posted today on my other channels. Y'all can look on my community wall on my JayeDeBlack channel. You'll see I post all my videos on my community wall on my JayeDeBlack channel. Y'all go check it out. And all follow me on the socials as well. Box Sports 1. Shout out to the moderators, the channel members, the Patreons, the people that support. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next show. Have a good one.